ODO has been designed to provide visibility of your vehicle fleet, efficiency in managing these vehicles, and providing the opportunity for cost savings, all in an easy-to-use way. When you sign into ODO, you are presented with the dashboard. The centre of the dashboard gives you an immediate summary of your fleet. I can see that I have 21 vehicles and 18 drivers. The centre tells me the key information I need to keep my fleet healthy and legal. I can see that I have 2 vehicles overdue for their MOT, 2 vehicles due a service, 1 driver overdue a licence check, and my insurance checks are up to date. I can see the vehicles that are overdue for MOT by clicking the red spot. Here are my 2 vehicles. I can navigate to one of the vehicles simply by clicking the vehicle line. Ease of navigation is a key function within ODO. I now see all the information relating to this vehicle, including the key dates, whether the vehicle is leased, and technical data. Note that the late MOT is highlighted at the top of the screen. Let's go back to the dashboard by clicking on the left-hand side of the screen. If we look on the right-hand side of the screen, we have alerts. These are auto-generated by ODO or can be manually added. They can also trigger emails or SMS. They are related to specific vehicles and drivers. ODO can also store your documents. I have an insurance policy copy here and my fleet policy. I can open my fleet policy to simply view or to print a copy. All documents can be uploaded from your desktop. Let's go back to the dashboard. Let's have a look at how easy it is to add a vehicle to ODO. I press the plus button and select New Vehicle. All I have to do now is enter the vehicle registration number and press Continue. ODO gets all the information relating to this vehicle from the DVLA and from CAP data. CAP data is used by all the dealers and lease companies in the UK for vehicle information. You can see ODO already knows the next MOT and taxation date. We now just have to tell ODO whether this is an owned vehicle or grey fleet. ODO also works best if you enter the current mileage of the vehicle. For those of you that don't know, grey fleet is a term used to describe vehicles owned by your employees. When you pay them travel expenses as a business, you're potentially liable if the vehicle is not taxed, insured, and has a valid MOT. I can see that the vehicle is all set up within ODO. The system is already identifying in red at the top of the screen that the road fund licence is due. All the technical information such as the chassis number has been found. Let's take a look at servicing using the Service tab. The service pattern comes from CAP data, and we can see that the next service is due at the end of 2018. If we look at the Financial tab, we can add information about the vehicle purchase, etc. We also have the ability to value the vehicle. By pressing Get Latest Values, we will get the value of the vehicle as good, average, and poor values from CAP data. Interestingly, this vehicle was on a dealer forecourt with a sticker price of £7,000, so £84 over CAP good. Let's take a look at a vehicle that's been on ODO for a while. The Vehicles menu entry takes us to the Vehicle search screen where we can enter criteria to search. I'm simply going to pick a vehicle and click it to get the details. I can see straight away at the top of the screen that the vehicle is overdue an MOT. I can also see that the vehicle has a driver allocated, Martin Drake. If I look at the right hand side of the screen, the MOT overdue reminder for the vehicle is shown. I have also entered a note against the vehicle by pressing the Vehicle Plus button next to Activities. Clicking the note, I can open to read it. I can also remove it by clicking Complete. Let's take a look at the odometer history. ODO is using all the odometer readings entered to calculate the expected mileage at the end of its planned life. We can see that this vehicle has a surprisingly high prediction of 355,000 miles. The issue is the last odometer reading is incorrect. I can invalidate that, and immediately ODO recalculates the end of the life mileage as a more realistic 91,000. Let's take a look at fuel. If you record your fuel, then ODO continually works out the average miles per gallon of the vehicle. The straight lines are the CAP average fuel consumption figures for this car. They're showing figures for urban, highway and combined, along with actual for that month. We can also store documents in ODO. Here we have a maintenance invoice and the car's V5. We can open the document with the blue button. If I go back to the main tab, I can use ODO navigation to drill straight to the driver on this vehicle. At the top of the screen, we can see straight away that this driver is overdue a licence check. We can also record a lot of information such as details of other family members who drive the car and all the driver's work and contact details. I can also see on the right hand side where the last scan of the driver's licence is stored. By pressing activities, I can see the one related to the overdue licence check. On the Vehicles tab, I can see the history of all the vehicles this driver has been allocated. Let's take a look at driving licences. This driver has two, but it's a UK car licence we're interested in. Clicking on this gives me the check history. The last check was in September 2016. We can check a licence by simply recording the check when the driver comes into the office. Alternatively, we can use the DVLA licence check process. We start this by pressing the licence check code request. This triggers an email to the driver with the URL to get a check code from the DVLA. The driver can then enter this into ODO and it is then returned to the main user. We added a vehicle to ODO earlier, but many people have a lot of vehicles. If we pick Export/Import on the menu, then pick Import, we can select vehicles. This function allows us to import a file of vehicles. I can download the template, then simply pick my completed template from the desktop. This runs exactly the same process as a single vehicle, checking the DVLA and CAP data for each vehicle. One of my vehicles being loaded is GX15OBF. Now the load is finished, I can go back to the vehicles to find it. Entering GX and pressing Update List finds me the new vehicle. If we drill into that, we can see that ODO already knows the vehicle road tax is overdue. You can start using ODO for free straight away. Select Start, Professional or Expert depending on what functionality you need. For Professional and Expert, after a month, you need to enter your direct debit details to keep using ODO.